Hey everyone, Ryan from Ebike Escape, and I am here with my wife Allie.
Hey!
And in this video, we are going to be reviewing the Burley Lite X, and we're also going to be talking in depth about how to hook up a Burley to an electric bike. Now there are a few reasons that I have waited to do this video. We've actually been using the Burley Lite X now for a few months, and I wanted to wait so we had a little bit more experience with it so we could talk a little bit more about when we have decided to use it. And I also wanted to do more research on how potentially you can hook up a Burley to any electric bike. And as a bonus, Burley just recently gave me a coupon code for 15% off if you're watching this around early August, so August 6th through the 15th. You can use our code in the description and get 15% off your purchase. We also get a little kickback from that, so appreciate your support. So with that, let's do a little walk around, and then later in the video, I'll talk more about how to hook up the Burley to an electric bike. All right, so Allie is going to give us some of her thoughts using the Burley Lite X over the last few months.
So first off, the Lite X is definitely on the higher end of the Burleys offered because of the additional suspension, which we have used going over gravel. And I have noticed that at least our child does not care. He falls asleep immediately. There is also extra padded seats in here. This is completely removable, and this is extra with the Plus model. And then this removable foot pad is part of the more premium product. The seats on this individually recline. There's also a nice area in the back here to hold quite a bit of extra storage space. So we actually got caught in an extreme rainstorm just last week, and this rain cover came in handy. So this is the rain cover. It rolls up pretty easily, and then these elastics just go in here. You can do it a little bit nicer. There's also the sunshade that you can pull down. I haven't seen a ton of super use for it because our kid likes to look out and see what's going on. And this seems a bit loose. I'm not sure if that's user error or once in a while it seems to fall down. There's also a feature, sometimes when we use it as a stroller, we just completely open it up and let the air come in. So if you don't want the rain cover, I'd say anytime you're biking, for sure have the net down just in case rocks or something comes up from the road. Safety-wise, have this down at all times if you're using it behind a bike. I will admit I was pretty hesitant about getting this product, thinking it was going to be a huge item sitting in our garage that we would not use very often, but we have used it quite a bit. First of all, if the weather has been rainy or questionably rainy, just as a normal stroller in our neighborhood, we've ended up just taking this instead and bringing an umbrella for ourselves, and if it rains, just using the rain cover. But even more handy, it has come in when I've needed a stroller when I've been biking to a location because our rad wagon doesn't hold our stroller very conveniently. And I've just hooked this up to a bike and then detached it, converted it to a stroller, and taking it to, for example, the farmer's market. Again, plenty of room to hold all of the items I bought. Lenny was happy riding in here, being able to see everything. And then when we were ready to bike home, I could just hook it back up and we would be able to go. So we got the double version of this. There is a single version, but we did get the double because we are expecting a baby in January. It has also come in handy. We've gone with friends, and Lenny's friend has just hopped in because he got tired and needed a little ride as well. So this weekend we went to our cottage. Didn't want to bring both bikes, but still wanted to be able to bike with Lenny. So we just folded this down, which is surprisingly pretty simple, pretty quick to do. It isn't super compact once it folds down, but I would say the act of folding it down is pretty easy. So to do it, all you need to do is just take off the wheels, which you just push here and pull it off. Super easy. So after you pull off the wheels, there's a section in here that you just pull and it just collapses down. So you pull these two yellow things, that kind of releases it, and then it folds down. Like I said, not super compact. In our van, it fits totally fine with all of our luggage. And if you need it even smaller, you can take off this front piece and the wheels can fit inside of here as well. So Burley does sell quite a few accessories. One of them, not super useful in our use case, but you can attach skis and cross-country ski with it behind you. You can also attach a jogging stroller type attachment. For us, I think this ride is plenty smooth. It goes over bumps fine, steers fine. We just walk and it is plenty smooth of a ride. But our main accessory that we got sent was this attachment for the stroller feature. It just Velcros on nice and easy here. It has a waterproof section that you can slip your phone or money, anything into. This is magnetic here that shuts, and then does have the 2 cup holders. And I will mention too, there is a flag that came with it that we don't have with us here, but only is used when it's a stroller with this bar up, because this is the walking mode and then this is the biking mode. Another nice feature of the stroller is this brake that you just can use with your feet. It's also worth mentioning there is a recommended minimum age when using the Burley as a stroller, 6 months minimum age, and when biking, 12 months minimum age. And for the speed, the recommended max speed is 15 miles an hour on smooth, flat road and 5 miles an hour on bumpy gravel or turns. The maximum nominal load is 100 pounds, children plus cargo. So overall, I'm very happy with the product. Like I said, I was pretty hesitant about getting it, using it. We have used it. I plan to continue using it. It is a higher end product. I've seen others in the community, and this definitely is a premium product. You can tell it's made of high quality materials. It's gonna last. It provides the comfier ride, and it's super easy to use and convert from stroller to bike. Now Ryan's gonna show you how to hook this up behind an electric bike.
Okay, next we're going to go through how we hook our Burley trailer up to an electric bike. And I should note with the Burley, most often you're going to get an attachment that looks like this black piece, and you can see that we have an extender on here, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But one of the things that you should note with whatever electric bike that you purchase is whether they recommend hooking a child trailer up to the rear axle. So the first step that we're going to do here is to change the trailer into bike mode. So if you actually look at this pull down here, there is a person walking and there is a release here. So I'm going to pop this out and there's a little icon of someone walking, and you release it by pulling right here. And if I pull this outward, it'll click into place. And there is an inscription of a bike right there, so you know that this is indeed in biking mode. Put the pin back in. Okay, and then next you want to change the handle again to bike mode. So you release it here on the right side, and it is very easy. They actually show a bike on the handle, so you know that's something you need to do. And the other thing that we always do is make sure the brake is on, especially if we're loading our child. So I'm actually going to get this into position and then go ahead and lock the brake. Okay, so this next step is actually where it gets a little bit interesting when you're hooking the Burley trailer up to, in particular, electric bikes with rear hub motors. So you can imagine, because there's not a lot of threads available on this rear axle, there just isn't going to be space to put this black piece on there and then replace that nut. And as I mentioned, you should definitely consult with whoever makes your electric bike and determine whether this is even recommended to attach a Burley trailer or any child trailer to an electric bike with the rear axle. So the first step is we're going to remove this rear nut, and in most cases this will take a 18mm wrench. So this is actually the part where it took a fair bit of research. I actually worked with the local machine shop and they were able to find this piece for me. Now, of course, we could potentially get these custom made, but they're going to be pretty expensive because it does take quite a bit of shop time to make something like this. Basically, you have a female end on the end of the bolt, which will go into the axle, and then there's a male end where this nut is on, and that allows the trailer to be attached. And I will put a link in the description so you can buy this piece if you want to, direct from the company. I'm just going to give you the specs here. So this is a stainless steel male to female hex thread adapter. So it is a 12mm axle female with a 1.25 thread pitch, and then the male end is also 12mm, but it's a 1.75 thread pitch. Now, obviously, the ideal thing if you're making this piece custom would be to have the same thread pitches, so you could just pop off that bolt on the electric bike and then put it right here. So we actually had to buy an additional nut, which costs a few dollars at your local hardware store. And I spent $25 on this piece, and I should note that most of the electric bikes that I've tested this piece with have been 12mm thread. So of course you want to check on that before you buy this piece. I'm not sure about compatibility with all electric bikes with rear hub motors. Okay, so we're actually going to go ahead and put this on this bike here. And so obviously if we were making this piece at a machine shop, since this was purchased off the shelf, you would perhaps make this piece shorter because it is unnecessarily long for this application. Obviously, this is a very important bolt given that it is attached to the rear hub and with the motor there, so you want to make sure it is nice and tight. And we'll just loosen up the other piece here because we need to adjust the Burley. You want this piece to be flat, so this is where the Burley will attach. So once everything is nice and tight, it's a matter of connecting the Burley to the bike. So the first step is to pull the wheel and flip it up backwards. It'll click into place, and then put the Burley trailer on the hitch and insert the pin. Once the pin is in place, put in the locking pin underneath. Then you'll want to attach this safety chain or piece of nylon to the frame. Just keep in mind that you don't want it to come in contact or have any chance of it coming in contact with the rear disc brake. Okay, and then clip on the safety chain to the D-ring on the Burley. And if something were to happen, that will just prevent the Burley from going off behind you. All right, and that is how we personally attach our Burley to our electric bike. Of course, you need to keep in mind whatever recommendations the electric bike that you purchased has as it relates to hooking up a child trailer. This is just how we found personally how this works. And as far as I'm aware, Burley doesn't sell any other kind of adapters to work with rear hub electric bikes, how we were able to get this working with that extra piece that we purchased.
Thanks for watching this video. Links to the Burley as well as the parts to attach it to the bike are in the description below.
In the description below, I will also put in our coupon code so you can save 15% off your purchase at Burley. I will also include links to our e-bike accessories list as well as our e-bike discounts code page, and finally our top e-bike brands page. If you make a purchase within those pages, it helps support the channel, so thanks in advance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.